Hi, so this episode is going to be all about different tools of the trade for illustrators and comic artists, or at least the tools that I use. Now, obviously, you're going to need a pencil, or a mechanical pencil, your choice. I do not use regular pencils because they get dull and then you have to sharpen them. But I like mechanical pencils because it's pretty easy, you don't have to think about it, run out of lead, you just put more lead in. And I use 0.5, and that's pretty great. As for pens, you can get markers, obviously. There's a brand, it's called Copics. For those of you who don't know, it's a Japanese marker. In the US, we have a marker, it's called a Prisma marker. I think Prismacolor, something like that. And as for inking pens, obviously you can use a Sharpie, but I don't recommend using a Sharpie. And the reason behind that is because over time Sharpies will fade, and if you've got your nice, beautiful illustration and the ink is kind of nasty looking after a while, it's a little disappointing, especially when I keep those originals nice and pretty looking as much as possible. Whereas if you use India ink, which is like ink in a bottle with a nib, which is like a nib in a special pen or whatever, then that will not fade. You won't have any issues with that one. As well as most mechanical pens. I can't make any like official promises in terms of that, but from my experience, at least mechanical pens don't fade. They come in different sizes. This pack here that I have is 0.8 through 0.05, which you probably can't see that, but those are pretty good for getting different line weights, as they're called. If you use mechanical pens, they're a lot easier to transport, obviously, but if you use the India ink, then you're able to get much more, I don't know, meaty lines, I guess you would call them. They're more delicious, my teacher would say, because you don't just have like one size line, you have something that's got a little bit more oomph to it. So that's what a lot of comic artists like to use. Otherwise, you can use mechanical pencils, and to get those fatter lines, you would just obviously make it fatter. Some other tools are scissors. I recommend having scissors because they may be useful at any given time. And then rulers. I like to use a clear ruler, and the reason behind that is because when I'm doing artwork and I want to use my ruler, whatever, I like to be able to see, what's underneath that piece of plastic. Do I have it in the right spot, kind of thing? Or maybe if I want it somewhere else, where is it going to go? Or, does it line up with this? But you can use whatever kind of ruler you want. There's different kinds of rulers, obviously. Not only the straight edge, but like T rulers and crescent rulers. I don't know. They look like me. I don't use those, but that's very useful if you're not very good with curves, kind of thing. But yeah, rulers, good to have, because most people can't draw straight lines. Paper. Obviously I like to have sketch paper. These are just for like random doodles. It's not very high quality paper. It's not meant for anything official. This is just some sketchbook I have. It's got, blank pages for me to draw in. Something fell out of there. And then you can also use you can use any paper really, as long as you're expressing what you want to express. It's whatever floats your boat, basically, whatever medium you're going to use. And they have different paper for different mediums. In medium, I mean like pens versus charcoal or watercolor kind of thing. So the kind of paper that I use is Bristol paper, and you can actually buy official comic paper, and it's a little different. Bristol paper is pretty good though, because it's pretty thick, it's heavy duty, good paper, good for pencils and ink. Here's a Bristol pad that I have. obviously Bristol. And I don't know if you can see here in the corner. There we go. Alright, it says 96 pounds right there. Basically what that means is how heavy the paper is. If you get different paper, if you get sketch paper, it's going to be less pound. Versus Bristol paper is pretty high. I've actually never seen 96 before. I'm used to like 80 pound Bristol paper, which is fine. If you use printer paper, which I have used printer paper in the past, it's, I don't know, it's effective for getting, you know, stuff down on paper, but printer paper is not as high quality as some of this artist paper you're gonna get. It's cheaper, but, you know, you get what you pay for. So obviously this is gonna wrinkle and smudge a lot better, and it's gonna rip really easy and all that fun stuff. Versus Bristol paper, it's heavy duty, it's meant to, you know, survive manhandling. And then you can get screen tone. It's basically like a sticker you put on top of your drawings, and that'll put like a pattern or whatever. But you can also use miscellaneous tools like your computer. If you have a tablet, that's pretty great. I have one, but I only use it for like digital stuff, obviously. You can't really use it for anything else. And then it's great to have a scanner as well as a printer. And yeah, those are the tools that I use. If you have any questions, just let me know. So I hope you've been having a great time watching this video, and I hope that you're having a great holiday season. I had a great Christmas myself, and can't wait for it to snow. And hopefully New Year's Eve will be fantastic too. So, see you later.